Welcome back to Dinar Trend Tracker channel. The entire financial world may have been waiting for today, because it could be the tipping point. Attention, viewers, the events taking place in Iraq at this very now are truly historic. Iraqi dinar revaluation appears to be entering the final phase after years of conjecture, arguments, and delays. It is true what they say. We are discussing the formal introduction of new notes with lower denominations, something which, according to experts, is the last crucial sign of Iraq's economic revolution. The current situation is causing ripples in financial systems around the world. This might be the moment of confirmation that everyone has been anticipating if the reports keep converging. In the next minutes, we will explain the significance of these new notes, the current situation in Iraqi banks, and why this could signal the start of the public exchange phase. Alright, let's get begun. The details that are being revealed today have the potential to completely alter the global currency landscape. New lower denomination dinar notes of 1, 5, 10, and 20 ICD have began distribution across Iraqi banks in key cities including as Baghdad, Basra, and Erbil. This is not a collection of hearsay or old news. That single action alters the entire situation. These are tangible notes that have just been produced and are in circulation. Since no country would ever print money with such a low value unless they were to revalue it, the issuance of smaller notes by Iraq indicates a change in the country's internal value structure. Put it in your mind. Paper bills of 1 or 5 dinar would be completely useless if the value of 1 dinar is less than a penny. Therefore, these smaller bills would only be rational if the actual buying power of the dinar has grown. Because of this, both Iraqi locals and foreign investors are incredibly excited about this progress. When lower notes are released, that's not the first step. Something far bigger has already been set in action, and this is just the confirmation of that. Smaller bits of paper aren't these lesser denomination notes. Their introduction signifies a radical shift in Iraq's monetary character. Contemporary traits are depicted in early citizen accounts and images, elements that represent Iraq's updated financial system, including holographic seals, watermarks, anti-counterfeit threads, and a fresh CBI emblem. These updates demonstrate the central bank's commitment to preserving value, enhancing trust, and developing a long-term widely used currency. But most crucially, the central bank has said that the introduction of these new notes is to help keep the national currency stable in light of the new exchange rate system. That one line sums it all up. Novel framework for currency exchange rates. Investors have been anticipating hearing that words for more than 10 years. This change is not just theoretical, it is real. I can use it. Working on it now. Finally, it has made its way into Iraq's economy. The United States and other countries are already feeling the behind-the-scenes effects. The likes of Chase, Wells Fargo, and even smaller regional financial institutions in the United States have reportedly started internal briefings on new currency verification procedures, according to multiple banking sources. The Iraqi dinar and other foreign currencies are expected to see a surge in activity, and they have allegedly been warned to be ready. That's deliberate planning, not luck. Banks worldwide are required to update their foreign exchange systems in real time whenever a country's currency is adjusted or revalued. So, the release of smaller notes by Iraq at the same time as international institutions improve their rules for handling cash is not an accident. Everything fits together like a puzzle. Experts in the field agree that these changes have been taking place continuously for the last 2 days. A few short weeks ago, the world took notice of the numbers that U.S. banks were using to test their internal DNR rate displays. The test values for various systems ranged from about $3.90 to about $5.03 per DEN. These weren't the public rates, but they did suggest that the groundwork for a higher valuation was in motion behind the scenes. With the formal release of Iraq's lower notes, those tests are now completely rational. There's a predetermined schedule for everything: internal preparation, then national release, and lastly visibility on a global scale. The development is following the predictions of numerous experts to a T. Because of this, investors, economists, and observers worldwide have shifted from exhilaration to cautious optimism. There is a strong and passionate response from the Iraqi public. The new notes suddenly feel significant to citizens who have endured decades of economic upheaval. Shopkeepers in Basra and Baghdad reportedly said the new currency is stronger and lighter than the old one. In a literal and symbolic sense. Think about it. It's been years since you last spent a 1 or 5 dinar note. It's a mental change, not merely a financial. That their money is valuable again is conveyed by this. This deployment brings hope to a population that has faced inflation, political turmoil, and reconstruction from the bottom up. Iraq hasn't had that kind of optimism based on genuine financial reform in decades. There is a chain reaction to this change. Full implementation of Iraq's monetary reform and stability framework was verified last week by the International Monetary Fund and the U.S. Treasury. Now the country is beginning the integration phase. Integrating such words is crucial. This signifies that Iraq's economy is no longer being run independently. The international Forex network and other worldwide trading exchanges are re-establishing connections with it. When that process is finished, the Iraqi dinar will be able to be seen and traded on the global stage, paving the way for honest, widely accepted currency transactions. The much-anticipated public phase of revaluations would then formally begin at that point. In anticipation, banking systems all across the globe are subtly lining up. We are currently updating the international currency data by running system refreshes overnight. While such internal syncs are common, their simultaneous occurrence across numerous institutions typically heralds a significant shift. There is no simple way for banks to implement a new rate. To guarantee that all rates are appropriately reflected globally, they must collaborate with the Federal Reserve, the SWIFT network, and global clearinghouse. According to many experts, we are currently in the home stretch before full worldwide recognition, and this syncing process usually takes a few days. Now the important question is, the official figure has not been released by the central bank yet, but estimations from several sources indicate that it is now floating between $3.25 and $3.80 USD per dinar. According to Iraq's oil-backed economic model, that rate is appropriate. Increase in foreign reserves and the lesser denomination notes practical utility. A 10 dinar bill would be equivalent to around $30 to $38 at such valuation, an ideal range for regular transactions. It's not pure conjecture. The numbers match up with Iraq's new monetary system. It's a rate that helps local businesses stay competitive while still being competitive on a global scale. Moving on to the next, and probably most exciting, stage is the worldwide visibility stage. The revised rate will then be visible on foreign currency systems such as Bloomberg terminals, official bank databases, and Forex. Banks will start launching legitimate exchanges once it becomes legally traded worldwide. The full activation of Iraq's system, which is widely believed to be already underway, could be completed within days, according to insiders. Once the world recognizes the Iraqi dinar as a legitimate currency on par with the US dollar, the euro, and the pound, this will be the last piece of evidence. Banks in the area are getting Iraqis ready for the redenomination swap. At the current exchange rate, this is the procedure by which larger denomination notes, such 25,000 or 50,000 dinar banknotes, are exchanged for smaller ones, stabilizing circulation, preventing inflation, and modernizing ordinary transactions are the goals of this complete economic reset. As far as many Iraqis are concerned, this is the first concrete evidence that their country's currency is recovering. This daring monetary policy shift shows the world that Iraq is now politically and fiscally stable enough to support it, which is good news for global markets. American financial institutions have been covertly prepared for a possible influx of demands to trade dinar. Apparently, this sort of thing is referred to in leaked internal papers as emerging market currency adjustments. Staff at big banks allegedly got a refresher course on how to deal with foreign money, how to verify compliance, and how to handle high-value exchange. To put it simply, they are preparing. The timing is highly significant, occurring just before Iraq confirms lower notes. It's as if the tides have turned and are now waiting for the same inevitable trip. There will be a lot of pressure to jump into exchanges too quickly or believe in deceptive early access bargains. Once the rate is public, the safest way to proceed is via official means. Everything will be safe, confirmed and recorded when real banks open their foreign exchange desks at the new rate. Thus, keeping calm is essential. No one wants to risk years of preparation by making a hasty, risky decision. Legitimate exchange opportunities will soon be available if current trends persist. A step back will allow us to see the forest for the trees. This goes beyond a mere reform of the local currency. In Iraq, it's like starting over from scratch economic. Rebuilding after years of war, the country has reorganized its economy and formed international alliances. Record highs have been reached in its oil exports. Its stock of foreign currency is increasing. And with the help of foreign organizations, its banking system has been audited and updated. Reevaluating the DNR is about more than just looking at stats. A place at the international economic table, national dignity, and sovereignty are at stake. The path taken by the DNR is characterized by perseverance, change, and tolerance. This is the narrative of a country that would not let itself be defined by uncertainty. This point has been reached after every stage of the process, which began with establishing a stable government and ended with a modernized economy. Even now, when lower denomination notes start to circulate, Iraq is sending a message that it is prepared to resume its strong and confident economic participation in the global economy. Financial news is not what this is. This is the writing of history as it happened. This shift may cause a paradigm shift in the way developed nations perceive developing economies. If other developing nations want to become more financially independent, they can look to Iraq's successful currency reform as an example. The story demonstrates that any nation that was on the brink of economic collapse may recover and become a contemporary, esteemed economy through openness, collaboration, and perseverance. The world is keeping a careful eye on Iraq as it sets a compelling model for global financial restoration, in addition to the possible gains. All eyes will be on confirmation in the coming days. Every development will be confirmed when the new rate is reflected on exchange systems around the world. When all of the world's financial markets see Iraq's revaluation, it will be the signal to proceed. Until then, make sure your paperwork are prepared, your focus is strong, and your dinar notes are safe. Because the last part of the exchange is no longer a pipe dream, after all these years of waiting, this is transpiring in real time. One of the most momentous monetary events of our generation may be about to unfold, so keep your eyes peeled, your mind sharp, and your spirit strong. This is a notification regarding RV. We are seeing the birth of Iraq's economy unfold before our eyes if these reports are accurate. There are new banknotes. As the world's banks collapse, the stock markets around the world wait. You are witnessing the unfolding of history.